Hello, and welcome to another episode of AWS Tech Tales. I'm your host, Matt Burke.
I'm your co-host, Brooke Gary. Welcome back.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the show where we talk about real life customer problems, what you can do to solve them. And today we're going to be talking about a problem that you may not think that you would face, which is capacity management. So, sometimes when you think about the cloud, you think it's like this ever, you can just launch any instance you want anywhere you want in the world. But sometimes you need to actually manage the capacity that you want, especially on things like GPUs. We won't get into things like capacity blocks today, but we do want to talk about capacity reservation. So let us know in the chat if you've ever used an on-demand capacity reservation. Just let us know, say hi. Brooke, what are your feelings on this topic? What have you done with capacity recently?
Oh dear, I have strong feelings on this topic. No, not actually. This is a fun one. I mean, this is one of the, as TAMs, this is one of the best ways that we can help our customers save money, right? So obviously, it's a big focus for us, looking for opportunities where we can, make good recommendations to our customers and help them save some money. But yeah, there's definitely been some fun stories with customers that I've talked to in the past. You definitely want to make sure that you get it right if you're making a big purchase. It's hard to undo or change things if you do something wrong. And then obviously making sure you have good monitoring and budgets in place. That way you catch the mistake as soon as it happens. I've seen instances where customers don't even realize for 3 months that they're spending way, way, way more than they need to. So it's definitely a good one to know, good one to know the tips on how to be careful and stuff like that.
And we got Erie Edits. Welcome back to the show, Erie Edits.
Hey,
Hi,
Ariana.
everyone. And then we have Rahul Sharma joining. Hi from India. Oh, it's super late for you right now.
Oh, geez, what time is it there?
Yeah, what time is it there? So we're going to be talking about capacity reservations. And what is interesting is in the old days, and I feel like I've been saying that a lot here at Amazon, in the old days, if you wanted to do a capacity reservation, a true capacity reservation, there was really only that one option, and that was your zonal RI, right? You wanted to make sure that you had capacity, let's say in US East 1A, for X amount of servers, and therefore you were getting both guaranteed capacity, we were holding it for you, and you were getting a discount, a reservation. We have a Mookie Monkey. Hello. And Ahmed Zah, hi from Algeria. Wow, we got some folks tuning in late. So that was the OG way of doing things. Now, Brooke, what's the new way of doing a capacity reservation?
Well, I mean, I think you're gonna put up a poll, Matt, but obviously you can do everything through CLI these days. I think that's what most people are doing. So we could either do that route or we could take a look at what it looks like through the console.
Yeah, but even before we get to that, I kind of want to touch upon it as just the topic of, and maybe I should just pull it up on the website before we dive too deep in, of what an on-demand capacity reservation even is for folks that are tuning in that may not be familiar with this concept. Because what's interesting about on-demand capacity reservations is we came out with savings plan, right? Most of you probably already know that savings plans exist to give you a commitment per hour of, I'm going to run maybe $100 an hour of compute, and in return I get a significant savings for that. But then it became this thing of okay, well, if I am committing to usage with savings plans, then I don't want to have to buy a zonal RI. I don't want to have to balance all these different reservations along with the savings plan. So what can I do to be a bit more flexible? Because my savings plans are flexible, they'll cover all my usage. What can I do next? Hassan hello, welcome to the show. So that is where you get into this on-demand capacity reservation, which for folks, I'll put in the chat, where you can go through and actually reserve the capacity you want, but in an on-demand way. So it complements your existing savings plans as opposed to a zonal RI, which would then essentially, if you don't want to commit to running a box for a year, that's a pretty big commitment. You just want it for a couple of weeks, maybe a month, and you want to make sure that if you turn it off, you turn it back on, it's there. This is the way to do it. So let me put this into the chat. And then we've got folks on saying the way that AWS handles capacity planning and scaling is truly impressive. It gives me the confidence that production workloads will always run smoothly. That's great to hear.
Oh, we'll take it.
We'll take it. So, where we will get into it is we have some ways to request capacity. We're going to do it. We're giving you guys the option of which way you would like to do it. So let's say you have EC2 instances already and you want to then create a capacity reservation for it. Now you can vote in the chat, 1, 2, or 3, which way you would like to see this done. Whether it's in the console, we'll go through in the console together, whether we just do some CLI commands, or if you want to see it in a Sagemaker notebook. Because that way we're going to go through a bunch of different scenarios today during today's episode. And each time I'll ask you to vote which way you want to see it. And Brooke and I have a bet going which one you will pick. But we will not influence the vote and tell you which one we think. So all you have to do is put a number into the chat and it will trigger the chart here. And while we're waiting for those votes, I think the other thing to consider about capacity reservation is this idea that, if you shut it off, it might not come back. But also, you were talking, Brooke, about like savings. So there's this idea that when you're saving within a reserve instance, or you're saving within a oh wow, everyone's going for Sagemaker notebook. Why isn't my chart refreshing here? Hold on. So I can see all of your stuff with me. But yeah, what can you do to save money while I'm troubleshooting the poll, Brooke?
In regards to
when you're thinking about capacity.
Well, you can either reserve it or you can do spot, right?
Oh, we can talk about spot. Yeah. So what is spot for those that are just joining us that may not know?
So spot is, you're not going to have it guaranteed, but it's good for workloads where, if you're running like a long kind of like batch processing kind of workload where you don't need that 100% uptime, you can save, keep me honest here, Matt, what's the percentage?
I think up to 67, up to 70, sometimes 90, we'll say, %.
Yeah, I've seen that 90 number for sure. So you can save a lot with spot instances. Obviously, that's not what we're talking about today, but those are two ways I know that you can save a lot when it comes to capacity.
Let me make sure that we can see. Okay, cool.
Matt, I think we both lost the bet.
Well, no, yeah, I think we both lost the bet on. I've got a bunch of 3s here. I don't know why my chart isn't updating, but I will take that as a sign of what we should be doing, which is a good thing I have my Sagemaker notebook already ready. So just to get things started here, I'm just going to rerun this code to make sure I know that what I'm running with. So I've got a couple T2 micros here. So what we want to do is make sure that these T2 micros, though usually it'll be a much bigger instance, that if I shut them off and bring them back up again, that I have that capacity, it's mine. So we're going to create a capacity reservation. So here's my function, which is defining create capacity reservation using Boto 3. It's going to say, hey, I need you to create a T2 micro, and we want to match the instance platform in the availability zone. So Brooke, what happens if we don't match this up properly?
Oh, I'm sure you'll get all kinds of errors.
No, well, if we don't match it up, then we'll create capacity reservations, but maybe not necessarily for the instances we have.
Oh, so we just won't have it. We'll be stuck trying to figure out why.
Yeah, or you will have it and then we'll be charged for it, but we're not using it because it's not the right instance type. So let's run this. So now we've created our capacity reservation. So all we did was return the reservation ID, and here it is. So that is really simple. And so now I'm going to make sure I can take a look. So now I've created a capacity reservation for 4 instances, and there's 2 available. So I wanted to see what that looked like in the console now that I've already created it. Capacity reservations. We can see my ODCR here. And it's active, which is great. And if I click into it, you get a nice little chart and graph that I got available, 2 more. So for folks in the chat, if I've got 2 instances available, am I being charged for those instances, or am I just being charged for the 2 that I'm using? Does anybody know? This is where I have to wait for the delay to kick in. What do you think, Brooke?
I mean, it's called reserved for a reason.
So you think I'm getting charged for this?
I'd say so.
You get charged even when you stop that instances. Yes, that's correct. So pay as you go -2. So Hassan is definitely winning this one, where by creating this capacity reservation, I am being charged for 4. Now, what's interesting about the capacity reservation is if you're using savings plans, that coverage of like using the savings plan and the running instance, it'll apply at the savings plan rate, which is good. But yeah, pay up even if it isn't used. Java Jenkins knows what's up.
Yeah.
So unless you want to, get more than you have, keep it the same. Keep it the same. Now you'll also see here, we've got some additional items with our ODCRs. We've got instance eligibility. It's open, which means that any instance that's running a T2 micro, that's going to use up the capacity reservation. So if you want to make sure that this goes to a specific team, you're going to want to change those attributes. And then when it ends, so maybe you just want this for a specific amount of time, and you also don't want to keep this going after it's done, and then you continue to get charged. So you can also specify exactly when that ends. So now,
Matt, do you know if there's limitations to kind of like how many times you can change the reservation within 24 hours or stuff like that?
if there is a limitation in like you changing the reservation, like in terms of the instance IDs, or like canceling or rebuying or what have you.
I guess in terms of like scheduling, right?
So if we have the capacity, we'll give it to you. But if we don't, then it might fail because it's scheduled, let's say like 2 weeks from now, and then maybe there's no capacity on the exact time that you got it, which could be an error. So it says, can you see if the savings plan is applied and working for your ODCR anywhere in the capacity details? No. And there's a reason for this. Is because the application at the savings plan level is kind of done from like a whole bill computation thing. And what we do with the savings plan is actually try to give you the maximum savings within any given hour. So these things kind of change and mutate a bit over the course of the month or course of the week, or maybe someone changes a setting and reruns it. So you won't know if you've got it. Boo, PFR, please. Get those systems to talk to each other. I mean, it's an interesting question about like, am I getting a savings plan on a capacity reservation or seeing if it's applied? You can check that on the back end. Like you can check it in the billing and cost management console, like, up until the day later, like was that usage covered or being computed as covered? But that's, you kind of have to know and again, the savings plan applications can change anytime. So maybe 1 hour it was covered and 1 hour it wasn't, depending on what was taking precedence in your environment. It gets kind of crazy like that.
Well, yeah, that is a good question. Like, how does that actually get broken down in like a cost and usage report?
Like so the only way that you will see a capacity reservation in your cost explorer in your CUR is if you don't use it. If you do use it, then we're just billing you like normal, right? But like, let's say for example, you're shutting off your instance on the weekends and you still have this capacity reservation active, you're going to get charged.
Right.
Unless you have it open and you've got other instances out there that can use it. That's also a possibility. But I like GM Llama's through line here. So we created a capacity reservation for existing EC2 usage. We did that through Sagemaker Notebook. Now the next question is, what about splitting that capacity reservation out? 1, 2, or 3, which way do you guys want to see us do the split capacity? You want to see it in the console? You want to see it in the CLI? Or we keep trucking in Sagemaker Notebook? It felt almost too easy in Sagemaker Notebook.
Just a click shift enter.
Yeah, exactly. You can give that to your developers, give them access, be done with it. If they need to reserve capacity for whatever they're doing. While we're waiting for that, where are my hotkeys?
This one, I'm surprised it's even possible from the console.
Oh yeah, I mean, technically, I got all that right here. Folks want to see. And with splitting, I mean, I guess a question is like, what is even splitting? So like, maybe you want to keep 1 or keep 2 and split it out and then release the rest. So you just have to play around. You get back into those convertible RIs types of move change and craziness. All right. Well, the chat doesn't want to pick. Brooke, what do you think?
I want to see it in the console.
Okay, let's do it. So now that we're moving to the console, we're in our capacity reservation. And we want to split this out. So we're going to go to split. And so now we get this nice little UI where it says, hey, I can do 2 here. And so we can split this out into 2 and 2. And then, of course, if you want to tag it, tagging is really good best practice. Again, like if you're trying to cost allocate who's not using those boxes, you can do get your tags here. And so this is what it would look like, where one reservation would have all the usage and the new reservation wouldn't have any. Oh, tag key shouldn't be empty. So let me just remove the tag. Now we've split this out. And yeah.
Oh, that's easier than I thought.
Yeah, this is a very simple. There's some simple examples. Now, if you wanted to do it from Sagemaker, I think there's a lot more code to be done in here. And we can check our split. If our split was successful, you could see the same outputs in our notebook. So that was quick. That was easy. Now, the question is, how do I move capacity between these different where's my poll? Between accounts, between different things. That's the next question, is where should we go for moving it? Where do we want to move it to? That's the other question.
What's an example of when we would want to move it?
Now, it could just be that you want to like move, like, let's say for allocation reasons, you've got one capacity request for one team and one capacity request for another team. So you're trying to move instances between them. Maybe you're moving capacity between like an external partner and you. And so you're trying to like swing, you're sharing this ODCR via resource access manager and you're like swinging over stuff. So there's a lot of different reasons why we could. But again, we're getting it kind of into the convertible RI, like split out and move things around kind of situation. I guess we can do this one. The chat's starting to get quiet. We can do this one from the CLI. So let me refresh my terminal. So again, we want to take a look at what we've got. And we've got our 2 capacity reservations. This is probably a bit small. So now what we're going to do is actually split these out and move one instance from one to the other. Since now we've got one with 0, one with 2, we're going to make it one with 3 and one with 1. But to do that, I actually have to put in the reservation ID. So let me actually just type this out. Oh, didn't like that. Hold on. So this is the source. Hold on. Let me get it as one big command.
These are where I love using QCLI.
What would you do? It's QCLI in this case.
Just tell it move these 2 over to.
Oh man, we should try it.
Is it installed in this Cloud Shell? Probably not.
Probably not. We'd have to install it. Let me. I think that should be a fun thing to play around after we finish.
Yeah.
Okay, so it should look like this. Okay. So now we should have moved the capacity from one to the other. And let's verify that it actually moved. Great. So now we've got 3 and 1. So again, you could be setting up these actions to automate things as you need to. We're kind of simply working through our through all the different ways that you can interact with an ODCR in all the different input methods, whether it's console CLI or a notebook. This last one is probably the most interesting one, which is to talk about modifying. So let's say you have a capacity reservation. What are the things you can do once it's already in play? So we can do that in the console. We can do that in CLI. We can do it in Sagemaker Notebook. I think earlier we had Rahul, Java Jenkins, GM Llama saying they wanted the notebook.
Yeah,
what are
I'm
folks that are
gonna
tuning in?
vote Sagemaker Notebook here too. I'm curious.
It seems like the easiest.
API call
Yeah.
customizations are.
Because what you're also getting is you're getting to pass through the capacity IDs as a as a variable, which is nice compared to just having to figure out what those things are in CLI. So what this would do is it's going to do a couple things here. It's going to take a look at the instance match criteria and the instance count, and it is going to modify the capacity reservation so that you can change it to a total of 4. So basically, we moved 1, so that we have 3. We have available instance 3 with 1 here, and then we have a total count of 3 in one and a total count of 1 in the other. So we had 2 and 2, flung 1 over. Now we can turn this one into potentially 4. Is what we will try to do.
What does this instance match criteria open mean?
Oh, that's a great question. So, for example, let's say you didn't want just anybody using your capacity reservation. So
this is where you would kind of control it for specific teams.
Yeah. So what you can do is say, instead of open, it's a targeted capacity reservation. So within your launch template or within the actual like setting up the EC2 instance. Actually, I think this will be an interesting. So let's just create a new one, right? We didn't do that from the console yet. Oh, I like Java Jenkins saying, Sagemaker is novel for me. Haven't seen Jupyter notebooks using AWS before. That's new. Oh wow, that's awesome. Well, if you want to create a machine learning model, Sagemaker notebooks are really where you're going to be going. So let's modify this, and then I'll do an experiment with the targeted. So we will run this code. Oh, it still doesn't know the capacity reservation IDs. So it might have needed. Let's make sure we get all of them. Okay. Let's see if we can get this to work now. Oh no, it doesn't like it because it doesn't. Let me see if I do the one before it. That way we have the capacity reservations. This should pass through now. Oh, it doesn't like it. Oh. I think I need to actually put in the one that I want to change. So let's do that. So example usage, CR. Replace with your actual capacity reservation. Okay, so let's do that. So we've got this one. And try again. There we go. Now it's 4. And let's see. Oh, hold on. I need to put it back in here again. You actually see now that this is a targeted. This is a targeted.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't mean anything until we actually play around. So let's take a look at our capacity reservations. So now we see we've got way more than we started with. We've got 4 instances in one and 1 instance in the other. And this one should be a targeted capacity request. Only instances that target the capacity reservation. And we're using all of them at this point. Actually, no, they're all available. So now we've basically knocked them out. Why? Because they're not actually being used. They're not targeting it. So how do we fix that? So instance settings. Let me launch a new instance. So I would like a T2 micro. And you go to advanced settings. And then you have here capacity reservation. So you can either launch in any open capacity reservation, none, do not launch in a capacity reservation. You can specify one. You can specify one in a resource group, only launch it in a capacity reservation, or only launch it in a capacity reservation group. So at this point, I'm just going to do a specific one, this targeted one. And then I should be able to launch the instance, and I should be consuming that capacity. So you have a lot of options to prevent misuse or folks that are using the capacity that you don't want. And then you can see I actually got it already working.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking when we're looking at this. Is it's simple enough to set it up across these 4 instances, but I can't imagine how complex this gets. Like when you're looking at multiple accounts and like hundreds of different instances and trying to manage all of that.
Yeah, you don't necessarily want this to just be open season, that anyone can launch anything, and then like maybe if someone launches it first, they get the capacity and the next person doesn't. So you generally would want to do it in a way that is targeted. But the other problem with that is I've seen customers forget that it's a targeted reservation, or forget that their launch templates need that, and then when they go to launch them, they say, "Oh, my launches are failing. I don't know why. I'm not able to get the instance I need," and it's because they didn't specify the right capacity group or didn't bring it up in the right resource group. So that can be a problem.
Well, if you're an admin, can you also set like pretty strict permissions on like who can use what groups?
Yeah, so you can create a resource group and then basically like set it up. But at the same time, like if you had an open ODCR and someone else launched their instance, even if they had no permissions to touch the ODCR, it still could apply. Does that make sense?
So most of the time you wouldn't want to do an open one.
Yeah, most of the time you wouldn't want to do an open one unless it's just like you and your account.
Yeah.
Or you're trying to, like, let's say, for example, you're having an issue where you're not using all of your ODCR. So you could either modify it to make it that you have less, or maybe you split it out so that some of it gets used by other people, and that's an open reservation. You can figure out how you want to. Again, this is just to ensure that you have capacity. Like this is part of your like both risk management as well as your what's the word, like part of your like guarantee that whatever you need for your workload in that particular time, you can get what you want. So let's see, what else can we do? I think that brings us to most of all of our capacity reservations. So what we can do here is actually clean them up now. So let's do a cleanup in our Sagemaker. If we wanted to actually get rid of these now, release them to the world, it doesn't mean that, for example, if I release the capacity, it won't do anything to the running instance. So it just means that if it turns off, maybe you might not get it back. But again, with a smaller instance, the chances of that are really low. And there you go. It's canceled. It's gone. So again, does not terminate the EC2 instance. I know that's probably small for people's screen, but
The fine print.
The fine print here is that these instances are still running. So if you really were trying to optimize, you got to turn them off. So I'm going to terminate this instance. And that will get rid of that. Now, while we're working with capacity, a fun thing could be, what happens if you can't get the capacity that you want? So I'm going to create
We're going there.
Let's see. Let's try something crazy. I don't know. I want this P548X large. Let's just see what happens, right? Again, you can put in a placement group. I want one of them. I want it immediately. So again, these are some of the details we didn't cover in the CLI, but you can either ask for it immediately or you can ask for it at a minimum date. And again, it's only you can see it's only supported CIMRT instances only, and minimum 100 vCPUs. So what we're saying is, like, don't ask for capacity in the future if it's not like a pretty big size. And so we're also saying, hey, what's your commitment duration? So if we're going to give you capacity at a specific date, you should be committing to at least 2 weeks of using it. Again, that's a big amount. And it's with those specific families. Robert Tables, hey, I haven't seen you in a while on the show. I missed my opportunity to order a snowmobile. This is the next best thing. I don't know if this is as cool as a big giant truck full of drives, but I like your thinking. So I want to manually, again, they're yelling at you. This is going to keep going. Don't forget about this. If you do forget about this, it's going to keep charging you. So, and then we have that instance eligibility. Do you want it open or targeted? So let's create this. Let's see what happens in my account. There you go. Immediate error. Immediate error to say, hey, Q, what's going on?
Wow, okay.
Because I'm trying to get a big P548X large. So it will error out if you try to get something you can't get. And that is why, if you want to do something that's at a future date, you can say that tracks. Those are pretty in-demand instances. Yeah, this is why we want to use capacity blocks instead. If I was to use, let's say, M5 or M6, let's say I don't know, 32X large, right? At a future date, minimum, let's say I need like 5 of these. Actually, let's say 10 of these. And I can do that at a future date. So I want it next Friday at 12 o'clock p.m. AWS partners and account managers can help with schedule. Yeah, if you know that you're going to need capacity, please reach out to your account teams. Reach out if you have them, technical account managers. But the sooner you know, the better. If you tell us a week before you need something, chances are we have some limited options. We can try to work our magic internally, but generally, if we want to know like 2 months in advance, especially for something that's super in demand. So that would be our. See, I'm gonna create this one, see if it actually goes through. Okay, you requested more. See, and this is the other thing that you have to be aware of is your service quota limits. So this is where the blast radius and how we protect you. People get annoyed with service quotas sometimes. They say, "Hey, like, why are you asking me to up my limits?" And this is a good reason. And so I can't just spin up 100 vCPUs plus. I have to go and process that request. So we said we were going to do something with QCLI before we wrapped up. Brooke, how do I install this on my Cloud Shell?
Oh, let's check. I don't know. I'm guessing Cloud9 doesn't have like homebrew.
I know, because this would be more for in the command line. It's not because I don't have it for Mac yet. Let's see. I guess I have to put it in my
Yeah, you could try
Mac
in
OS
your
terminal.
terminal.
Okay. Let me.
But then, could you connect to this account?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. While I do some song and dance, what did we learn today, Brooke?
Trying to think. I mean, I didn't know that you could do that much customization in Sagemaker Notebook. That was honestly more code than I expected would be needed, but I'd imagine it's really helpful if you're looking to automate stuff.
Let's see, support it. I'm looking for install. Oh, download. I just have to download this. Hold on. Oh, our service limits are for our own good, honestly. Yeah. I mean, look, that's why we have a propaganda pawn hounds and rookie dead should be able to drain the pools. Yeah, I mean the common other thing that we can say is like you don't want for account compromise. Like let's say somebody breaks into your account, the risk that you run is the blast radius is contained by your service limit. So you really only want to lift them when it's time to when you actually are close to those service quotas. Now I'm just installing QDeveloper Live. Hold on. While we're waiting, Brooke, have you seen the new Kiro IDE app yet?
Oh, is that the cursor competitor?
I don't know what it's supposed to compete with. I just know about that's the new hot thing.
I think I just saw something about that this morning. I haven't gotten a chance to take a look, but if it is
folks,
what I'm thinking of, very exciting.
Let's see. Who's seen Kiro? I'm showing my screen. I'm not even. Who's seen this yet? I'm really excited to play around with this.
Yeah.
No, where's my?
This is for all the vibe coders out there.
Okay, let's see. Where's my? Oh, because it's under Amazon. I was like searching by Q instead of Amazon. There's so many things named Amazon in my.
Oh, here I have it up here. I can send it to you.
I got it.
Okay. Manually.
I gotta hit install, enable. Yeah. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there. And okay, it's coming. All right, let me start a new terminal.
In the meantime, I do have a funny story about capacity allocation and like splitting it across however you want to split it up.
Yeah.
Allocating it. Someone asked me recently, they're like, how does AWS, like, we have these capacity reservations, like, how do you guys decide, like, how to split it up on our accounts? And I said, that's what you decide. Like, you have to set that up. Because, like, obviously we're not kind of, like, controlling everything and micromanaging for you. So, obviously, it's up to your specific team how that's happening.
Let's see, where's my terminal? Now, okay. Oh, wait, not this one. Different terminal. I want this one that has all the gobbledygook on it. Okay. This is my terminal. What should I do? Vibe code me through this, Brooke. I've installed Q on here now.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so we're logged into the same account.
Yep.
Let's
What do I
see.
do?
We could say. Wait, can we just tell it to split the capacity reservation? I guess we
Oh,
still
I
need the.
canceled them. I canceled them. So we have to make a
Oh,
new
we gotta
one.
start from scratch. Can you make me a capacity reservation?
Does this just work? Oh wait, no. Do I have to say Q in front of it? How do I call it in line?
Yeah, you should. Well, on mine it just runs. Wait, might be like a special symbol.
Because it says this for me. Do I just say Q in line? Oh, here we go. Q chat.
I
Then
think it might just be Q. Oh yeah, Q chat. Okay.
oh, see, it doesn't like this. Okay. What do I? Let's see, help. Oh, this is just the settings for it. How do I make a request? Or do I have a different thing installed? No, I have
No,
the
that should be right.
okay.
Can you try like Q chat list all running EC2 instances? In my account.
Oh, I can't. Oh, it went EX2. Hold on. Yeah, see, it doesn't like that.
Hmm.
So there's just options. So
Oh, do Q translate.
there we go.
And then you could do the same thing, list all running EC2 instances. And then that's the one that converts it from, I guess,
There we
natural
go.
language.
That's what I want. Oh, it doesn't even like. Oh, because my terminal doesn't even have. Why does it? I thought I had AWS CLI on here already. This is very, very silly. Hold on. No. Hold on. This is what happens when you start a new computer. I haven't. Uh, let's make sure that's working properly. I like Robert Tables just says, I don't know how Q works on the CLI. LOL. Just do a Q chat first. See, we're figuring this out live. So I'm just getting my command line going.
Yeah, I have the VS Code plugin, so it integrates a little bit easier.
Yeah, that's the. I have it too, but I haven't. I wouldn't know how to. Okay, let's try this again now. Make sure things are working. Or do I need to? Oh, let me configure. Oh wait, I think it's just because I need to.
You might just have to say in your prompt, like, list all instances in US East 1.
Hold on. I think I got this. I just need to pull up my. I have too many tabs open, folks. Where is my other? Oh, here we go. Okay. Let me just get my secret keys in here. That should work for this. I don't know. It really still wants a.
You could try just like Q translate and then list all EC2 instances in US East 1. I've done that one before.
Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna put in my keys. And see what happens. Oops. course, I got to do that again. So this happens when you try to do, okay. Now let's try, this is what it created. All right, now it's
There we go.
working. There we go. So now we can say, QTranslate.
Yeah, create a on-demand capacity reservation. It probably knows the abbreviation.
Oh, see, it's trying to do my, oh my God. It's thinking now. Execute. Oh, see, he doesn't like that. It's saying
The instance type doesn't exist.
no. When modifying instance, the following supply instance type. Oh, because it's thinking that the instance name is the instance type.
Yeah, you might have to be a little bit more specific.
Let's see if we can get this to go. Instance ID, instance type. Let's see. Let's see if that works. Oh, it's trying to modify the instance. I don't think it likes that. Okay.
Yeah, because we don't want to modify the instance, right? We just want to create a reservation.
Let's try this. That seems right. But why did it, see, this is what's interesting, is why did it give me Windows? It just made up Windows for me. That's interesting. I like that. Usage. Why didn't it? Oh, no, options. Instance tenancy and dash name, my reservation default. Okay. It doesn't like those either. So I guess what we're seeing is that
You definitely need a good pair of eyeballs on it.
yeah, it's not going to do it for you from scratch. Why is it? Hold on, I'm cleaning it up. Because you definitely need the availability zone. Even if I just did this, it wouldn't. This wouldn't fire. Yeah, you're missing instance platform and instance count. So I need platform.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. It's not like when we did describe instances earlier, it's not reading like the instance metadata and getting those fields for you. But maybe if you do like some better kind of prompt engineering, it would.
Yeah. B you need to do create ODCR in US East 1A for E2 micro called my reservation, and I need 4 instances. Okay, see, that's just doing a run instances. Regenerate answer. It's still doing.
I don't think it knows what OCDR is.
Oh, it's not. I'm following along and had some blanks. And then asked what instance is running now to check. Then I asked if I want to plug that variable into the waiting ODCR translate. Okay. Let us know if it works. Good morning, Llama. So what we're seeing is there's some limits to just figuring this out on Vibe. So I think our
jobs are safe for a little longer.
for today, give me an ODCR in US East 1A for for 4T2 micros. Yeah, see, it's giving me running for, so it doesn't like know ODCR yet. Okay, so we did some tests. We figured out. Now I'm eager to know what Good Morning Llama is doing. But this is what happens when you try to figure things out live, is they don't necessarily go according to plan. But if you've got tips for using Q in the CLI, let me know. Brooke's going to have to teach me using it in the IDE, and then we're going to have to both learn about the new Kiro.
Yeah, very excited about that new tool.
Yeah. So, folks, let us know in the chat if there's anything else that you want to see. But otherwise, we'll be here next week, same time, same place. I do have to decide what we're going to be doing next week, though. I haven't figured it out yet. So if folks have any suggestions, hit us up in the chat. Let us know if there's a topic that you want to see. Oh, let's see. I think it's working a bit smoother because I asked it to create an ODCR for the instance I'm running QCLI on. So it could just look all that. Oh, because it pulled it from the instance metadata. That's smart. I like that.
Huh. Fair enough.
As opposed to me doing it locally and then having to just create a command for me on my behalf. Well, all right. I like that Good Morning Llama is trying things along with us, and that I thank everyone for tuning in today. Brooke, any final words?
Don't think so. This was a fun one though.
All right.
Fun experimenting with the new tools that come out.
Yeah, sometimes we get through this too quickly, and then it's like, all right, what else can we poke around and break? So thanks everyone, and we'll see you next week.
See you next time.